but we need more Islamic workers. And I've been to countries like Zambia and Zimbabwe. Some Islamic workers, when they go to Africa, they go to South Africa. And they ignore other countries. Some of them go to Kenya. A few of them go to Kenya. Dr. Quick went to Kenya, and Dr. Bilal Phillips went to Kenya. But countries like Zambia, they said, we have never had any Islamic speakers coming through. From the West, we are the first that came through. And same thing with Malawi. I think that some Islamic workers, they avoid the poor countries for some reason. And these are the people that are willing to take their shahada. So Islam is spreading very fast in Africa, but there is a lacking in Islamic workers, and there is a lacking in authentic knowledge. They have never heard of Tawheed. Certain aspects of Tawheed they have never heard about. They have never heard about certain topics like Al-Wala wal-Bara, Tawheed Hakimiyya, Kufr in perspective, Shirk in perspective, and many other crucial topics, rejecting the Tawhid. They don't know that to believe in Allah is not enough to make them a Muslim. For you to be a Muslim, you have to reject the Tawhid, the false deities, and man-made isms and schisms, and then believe in Allah. They do not know that. In some African countries, they preach democracy from the minbar, even though it is the greatest shirk. So Africa has a serious problem of Tawheed, a Tawheed problem, but this problem is not akin to Africa. It's a problem all over the world. Authentic Tawheed is not taught. So many people die believing in some type of Tawheed because nobody tells them to reject the Tawheed. Everybody is telling them to believe in Allah, but no one is telling them to reject the Tawheed. So many people die believing in some type of Tawheed, which is quite unfortunate. So Islam is spreading in Africa, but we need Islamic workers to bring authentic Tawheed to the Africans.
Inshallah. May Allah allow some to arise to fulfill that need, inshallah. Ameen. Many from amongst the Muslims in the West, actually, during your tour, Sheikh, it sort of pains me to alert you, but I have to ask because it's come across our message boards and emails several times. Many criticize you, Sheikh, saying that while in Africa you were only preaching to non-Muslims and were not speaking on topics like Hakimiyya, Jihad, Wala and Bara. And basically they've pronounced the statement that you've changed. So we would like to give you an opportunity to explain your assessment and activities in Africa and discuss a bit about the dialogue you held with Muslims and non-Muslims alike there, inshallah, and some of the intentions or what you were trying to achieve, inshallah, to clarify some of these of the statements of the dogs that incessantly bark, inshallah, ameen.
There is a Kafir think tank. There's a Kafir think tank that follows Islamic scholars and see what message they are preaching. And the Kafir said, my message hasn't changed. I think they call themselves Nefa or Nafa.
Nifa. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Are you acquainted with them?
Yes, indeed. Yes. Mm-hmm. As they are with you, as they are with you and us. MashaAllah. Go ahead.
Yes. They followed me around and they said that my message hasn't changed. Mm-hmm. It is still the way it was before I went to prison. The debate I did in Nigeria, Shaykh Faisal debates the Saudi Salaf in Africa. It's all about Tawheed Hakimiyya. It's all about establishing the fact that it is known of Islam by necessity that if you dismantle the Sharia, it makes you a kafir. And this is the ijma quoted by Ibn Kathir and Ibn Taymiyyah. And it is incumbent on the Ummah to accept this ijma. Those who go against our ijma does not belong to this Ummah. So this person needs to be in cognizance with the CDs and DVDs of the African tour, because my debate with the Saudi Salafi in Nigeria, in the city of Kaduna, it's all about Tawheed Hakimiyya. So these people who are speaking, they are speaking with adequate knowledge, and it's quite unfortunate that they are not in cognizance with the materials from the African tour. The message is the same. It's all about establishing the hujjah on the deviant, and it's all about preaching the haqq And the most important, the theme of our African tour was all about Allah's Hakimiyya. And this is one of the reasons why the authorities in Kenya were concerned about the dawah, because they're afraid that it will pull the veil from the eyes of the Kenyan Muslims and wake them up. And they claim that Al-Shabaab is on their doorsteps and they threaten to attack them. So my presence in Kenya will only serve to make the situation spiral out of control. These were their words to me. Not their exact words, but the meaning of their words. Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. Thank you, Sheikh. With the absence of many shaykh and the difficulties facing anyone who speaks the truth, Muslims in the West have pretty much no access to anyone to teach them true Islam. Most of the youth upon the truth came upon it after your arrest, after your arrest in Britain, I should say, and are hampered by works such as Beware of Takfir from Abu Hamza, that have witnessed you becoming labeled as a Khariji or from the Khawarij. Still, anyone who has actually listened to your lectures knows that you present the deen in a beautiful way, and many inquire and ask RM when you will become more accessible, inshallah, to study deen from. Despite that the political climate is hostile, can we expect you to continue to preach the haqq openly? And can your audience expect to get material from which they may benefit soon, inshallah?
Yeah, concerning the works of Abu Hamza, Beware of Takfir, I haven't read it, but many people who read it said that that book backfired on Abu Hamza because he made statements in the book which is clear kufr. He allows people to join the Kafir parliament. The reason why I haven't read the book, and I do not hope to read it, is because Abu Hamza isn't a scholar. So there's no point in reading a book written by Abu Hamza. He is not a scholar. He is not qualified to make statements in regards to Islam. He qualified as an engineer from Brighton University, not as a scholar. And Abu Hamza has no sheikhs as well. He's self-taught. So this is the reason why I did not read his book. And if I want the book to be refuted, I will ask somebody to refute it on my behalf. But many people complain that his book contains statements of kufr because it makes it halal for people to join the Kafir parliament, and we know that to join the parliament is major kufr. As for the statement about Khawarij, now, a Khawarij is a person who makes takfir on the Muslims because of their sins. We do not make takfir on Muslims because of their sins, if they drink alcohol, or if they should commit fornication. The Khawarij, they have a problem. They do not realize that there are two types of kufr. Major kufr and minor kufr. The only kufr that can take a person, eject a person outside the fold of Islam, is major kufr. The Khawarij, they do not realize that. They say kufr is kufr, and they did not split kufr up into the way we do, and we don't make takfir on people unless the kufr is major kufr. An example of major kufr is to do black magic. To do black magic is major kufr. To spy on the Muslims is another example of major kufr. To throw the Holy Quran in the dustbin is another example of major kufr. So we, the members of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, we make a difference between major kufr and minor kufr. The Khawarij, they do not make that difference, and this is why they went astray. This is the major reason why the Khawarij, they went astray. We, the members of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, we do not have the Khawarij Aqidah, and we have already refuted the Khawarij, the devil's deception of the Khawarij. I think you have that audio.
Inshallah, yes.
And we have made our Aqidah clear on that CD, the devil's deception of the Khawarij.
Inshallah. Could you just answer the second part of the question about being accessible? Will we be able to benefit, inshallah, soon? Do you plan on any new releases or any means of communication?
I was told by the Muslim community to let the dust settle before starting any halqas. So inshallah ta'ala, I will be establishing a halqa, but we have to wait for the dust to settle. And we need to go on the Jamaican media to give some interviews. After the interviews on the Jamaican media, the television stations, then we will